for the class.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. I kept getting some strange pop-ups on my computer all of a sudden, so I wanted to make sure. Hi, whenever I try to click the video to open up my so you can see me. So I'm sorry, I guess it's not going to work this time, but my name is Anna, as Felicia mentioned, and I am a designer for Michaels, and I see my charger cables going right through our screen. Okay, it's gonna just rest right there at the edge. So today we are working on, we're going to make this super cute wreath out of paracord. Okay, so it's like a bracelet making cord that we typically use to make, all kinds of different things, but we're going to do something different, make an ornament. So it is, I mean, it could be a backpack tap pull. It could be anything that you want it to be. So, so we have this today. We're also going to use, I'll go through the materials in a minute, but we'll use little alpha beads to kind of bring in the trend of the friendship bracelet and all that fun stuff. For some reason, it looks like it's curved, but it's not. It could be my my strange little rigging I have going here. I'm going to try to get this out of here because it's driving me crazy. Okay, so now I'm going to get us straight again, and we're good to go. Okay, and much better. Okay, much better. Okay, so today, the materials that we're going to need, there's not a whole lot that we need for this project, but there's a couple of items that you can use just in case, or, if you have them, you can use them as optional items to create this project. If you don't have all of these materials, I will go through a couple of alternates that you might have around your house that you may be able to use in creating this project. Now, with paracord, typically to kind of close off the ends, you need a lighter to singe. So for that, we will need an adult to help with some parts of this project, but I'm going to try to do this as best I can without using a lighter. But if we do need one, or if you, I will show at the end what it, how to do it. If you want to have an adult handy, we'll just need them kind of towards the end, not right now, but just kind of keep them close by just in case we want to use it. But kids, please do not use this lighter on your own. Okay. So now let's jump into the materials. The first thing that you will need are paracord. These are I'm not 100% sure what they're made of, but they're also known as like, parachute cords. I'm going to use the green and the red since I'm doing a Christmas ornament that is the wreath, but you can use any colors that you want. In this pack, also you have blue, yellow, and orange. And there's also a pastel, there's a neon. I believe that's the only three. There's the primary, pastel, and neon. Yes, I think those are the three options that we carry in our store, but they're great, great item. I love this. I love using this product. So I'm going to put that to the side. I'm just going to keep these out. Now, if you don't have paracord, you can really use any kind of cording that is that has some form to it. Like if you have the plastic lacing, that works great. Yarn, you can use yarn as long as you have like a good like acrylic or a little stiffer yarn. But that super soft yarn is going to kind of be a little bit floppy, but that's okay. You'll still get a finished look, but it won't like hold up on its own. It might kind of the shape might not stay. And then you'll need alphabet beads. I did my grandson's name here, Miles, and then the year for this year to put on the ornament, because I just thought it'd be kind of a fun little keepsake. And then his brother Boston is going to be the name I'm going to use for the one we do today. And then also 2024 for this year. Now, if you want to know, so we carry the alphabet beads and the number beads. They are separate. So if you only have the alpha beads, that's okay. You don't have to do the numbers. Numbers are optional. Actually, alphabet beads are optional. I mean, you can put whatever beads on here you want. If you have pony beads, you can do pony beads. The only thing is you'll need a bead that has the hole big enough to go through your cord. Okay. That's the only kind of stipulation. The part that that's a must when you're doing this project. I'm gonna grab some water real quick. I have a little sore throat, so my mouth is going dry pretty quick. Okay, so we need those guys. I have a glue pen here. If you know, been to any of my classes, you know I love the glue pen. It's kind of an alternate, I mean, or optional product. You may or may not want to use this, but I always like to have it handy, so that's why it's here. I have a ruler, oops, so we can cut our paracord, measure and cut our paracord, and scissors, so we can cut our paracord as well. So those are the materials. So let's jump into our project. Now this is a little bit higher advanced because the material is age grade of 8+. So that's why this class is a little bit higher on the age range. Oh, I have a toothpick too for the glue if you want to use it. I always, if you've been to my classes, you know I love the glue pen. You know I love my toothpicks. Fantastic craft tool. And so, and I also, if you've been to my classes, you know I also love baby wipes. They're also the best tool. Every craft room needs to have a box of those. So, okay, so we're going to get started. So we're going to start with the red paracord because we're going to work on what we're calling our base cord. So you need about 48 inches, okay, of the red, and that is 4 across the 12, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the end here. I have this little tag on here, so I'm going to cut that off. Don't need the tag. Get it off of there. I didn't see it. It was clear, or I would have had it off already. Apologies. Okay, so now I'm going to find one of my ends here, and I'm going to measure 1, and I'm going to grab that part right there. 2, grab it here. 3, grab it. 4, and I'm going to cut probably just a little bit off of there just because, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly 48. That's just a good measurement. Now, if you got one of these guys, I did accidentally leave this off the material list, but it is in the picture of the project. If you saw it in the advertisement. And so if you got one of these, awesome. I'll show you what to do with that. If you did not, I'll show you how to do it this way, which is just a little bit easier of a way to do this project. Okay. So I'm going to put my excess paracord to the side because I don't need it right now. So I'm going to take this right here, and really what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead because I want to see a good place to start. I'm going to tie my bow because I just want to see kind of, you know, how much material I need to, and I need to be able to put my name on there and tie the knot. So I have a little bit of a longer tail. So basically all I'm doing is just kind of getting a good measurement of a good place to start here. So it looks like I'm about 10 inches. So just for grins, I'm going to go ahead and move it up to 12. Okay. And now I'm going to loop it to make this part right here. Okay. And then I'm going to tie a knot, an overhand knot, and I'll do that again slower. So don't worry. So I have my little hanger. Okay. So now I have my 12 inches here, which is probably a little bit, yeah, it's 10 inches. That's okay. And I have the rest of my cord on this side. Okay. So let me undo that, and I'm going to go slower because I think I went a little fast on that one. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I found, you know, I went about 12 inches in and then did a little loop, and this loop is about 2.5 inches, but it's not super important. All I want is something I can hang on a tree. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I have this, I'm holding on to both with the two things in my hand, a pinch between my fingers. And I'm going to take my working cord, which is what we call the rest of the cord, and wrap it around the loop, like on top of my finger. So it's like a little bit top, but you see this little hole right here. I'm going to push those through that hole. Because I'm right-handed, I'm going to readjust. And then I'm just going to tighten my loop, and see, I still have my loop that's about 2.5 inches. And I have my length here that's about a little bit less than 10, but that's okay. Well, we can work with that. Okay. So that's how I am doing this. Now, if you want to use this right here, and that's okay, that's great. So if you're not using that, take a break for just a second. I'm going to show real fast how to do what we call lock's head knot. So we're going to do kind of the same concept. Okay. You're going to have your loop and you're going to push the fold of your loop. And it's going to be a little tight through the hole at the bottom. Okay. So it looks like this. Now what I'm going to do is with this loop here, I'm going to take these cords and push it through the loop and pull it so that it looks like it's folded, and then I'm going to tighten it. So you have that, and that's your knot to start. Okay. So it's the same thing. Now I'm going to go back to the other knot for the majority. I feel that probably do not have this since I left it off of the material list on
And what's the
accident.
name of that hook?
It's a lanyard hook.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome. I believe it comes in a pack of 12, maybe. It's not super expensive. If I'm not mistaken, it's probably $2 or $3.99. And you get a lot of colors. It pink, blue, green. I mean, it's a really good set, and it comes with this, and there's a smaller one too. So you'll have them like in the larger one, this larger one, and a smaller one in the same pack. I have a couple of packs here, so you can kind of see there's a different. Well, of course, somehow I was managed to get all the same, almost all the same size. So you can see it comes with these two sizes here, and then some of these might be old. So there's, comes in a variety of colors, which is, a great item. And I just grabbed a handful. So, you have a better, when you order, if you buy the pack, you have a better spread of the colors, but there's that. And the nice thing about that hook is you can hook it to your bag, your backpack, your purse, your tote, your whatever quickly. But you can still do it with this right here. If you decide to, go back and get those hooks, I would say just cut your loop open, thread one through, and then tie it on, tie a knot. I mean, it's as easy as that, so you can do that as well. Okay. So I'm going to get back to our loop. So I'm going to go slow just because I have the opportunity to do it one more time. Okay. So remember, I'm going to take the working cords and I'm going to wrap it around the top of at the top of my fingers, but around the loop with that hole right that kind of gives that hole. Then I'm going to push these through the hole and readjust because I'm right-handed. And then I just got to work that knot tight. Okay. So I have my little loop. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave this this shorter end. I'm sorry, it's hard to see right there. The shorter end, I'm just going to leave that till the end because I want to use that to tie my bow. But this right here is going to be my working cord, this long one here. Okay. I'm going to move my letters over because we don't need that till the end. And I'm going to get my ruler out of the way because we don't need that to the end either. Now for this part, it's kind of hard to decide how much to cut off. So unfortunately, we're gonna just use this whole orange piece, or I'm sorry, this whole green piece. I know my colors, I promise I do. So what we're going to do is I'm gonna have you unravel it completely like I have here. I'm gonna move this over for just a minute. Unravel it until you have it all completely unraveled and find your two ends. Okay, put them, put them even. Now I'm going to run my fingers across while pulling it over because I'm trying to find the middle. Found the middle. Okay, this is my middle. It's a little twisted, so I'm just going to twist it, but there's my middle. If you get off a little bit, that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. But there's your middle. So I'm going to keep that right here. I know it's kind of hard to see. I went off the screen a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this back in here. Remember the shorter tail, we're just not really worrying about right now. But this longer tail is what we are going to work our wreath around. Okay. So you're going to take your loop here, and I'm actually going to I just wanted to find the middle because as ungraceful as this is, it's kind of a little bit harder to see too on the screen. But if you can see, I'm going to move this out of the way for just a minute. You can only see what we have going on here. I'm sorry, my camera keeps kind of going a little bit cattywamper. Okay, so this is the middle. I have half on my right side, half on my left side. Okay. And then the working cord down the middle. Okay, what I call this is the working cord desk. I'm going to grab a piece of tape because I think just to show you, if you want to do the same, you can do that, but it is easier to hold it in place. And I know I'm off screen a little bit, so it'll be hard to see, but I'm taping it over because I have felt here. I don't want to tape it to the felt, but I'm taping it at the top and I'm going to tape it at the bottom and see if I can, maybe I can tilt my phone a little bit so I can kind of show you a little bit. Okay. So here I have it taped right here and then I have it taped right up here, right here. Okay. And that way, and not only did that because, so you can see the screen better on the white. It's hard for you to see, so I have it a little bit wider, but that way it keeps this in the middle one in place. So as I'm working over it, because if you can see in here, it's kind of hard to see it, but you can see a little bit this red. We're going to do the paracords over the red, okay? And we're going to work it over. Now we're going to do a twist paracord knot also. So we're going to get a little fancy, okay? So we have our screen on, our equal sides. I mean, they don't have to be exactly, but you want them kind of equal sides. Your right cords, the cords on your right side and cord on your left side. I understand it's one cord, but we're going to pretend it's two cords, okay? And we're going to work around, or we're going to work down, and then we're going to form our wreath around, okay? So you have it. I just moved it up to the top. Now I can do it in the middle, and then we can slide it up, which I think is what I'm going to do just so it's easier for you to see on camera. As we work, I'll kind of slide it up, but it is going to work down. Okay.
Hey, Anna,
So this, yes.
really quick, there's a question asking, can you give a size if they're using a different type of cord?
Oh, you know what I can measure this one because I know this one's long enough. It might be a little too long, but at least can give you that dimension. Absolutely. Give me just 1 minute and let's measure it. Because it's the full cord that came on there, and I'm sure it tells me on the back of the package, but for fun, I'm going to go ahead and measure it. So there's 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 90, about 98, 99. I think it's about 98 inches. Is that helpful?
I will let you know as soon as they respond.
Good deal. Yes. Now, like I said, it might be a little longer than what you need, but it's kind of hard to tell with the twisted. But I know it's at least this much. So because you can make your wreath bigger too if you have more. If you have more material and you want to keep going, make it a little bit bigger, you can do that. You can go till you run out of green. And we may do that. Depends on how much time we have. Okay. So I'm going to give a minute. So if that participant is measuring theirs out, I'm going to give them a minute to get that measured out. But as that, I'm just going to give you a little bit. So you want your working cord, which is the cord in the middle, or your base cord, I should say. Your base cord is in the middle. Your working cord is usually the one that you're actually moving. Your base cord here is you want it vertical in front of you on your working surface. If you have a clipboard or you have something like that, you can hold it in place. I just use tape. And you don't absolutely have to have it, but it does move around a lot. So it makes it a lot easier if you do have tape, trust me. And then your working cord is going to be horizontal. And we are going to be working from one side the whole time. Excuse me, when you do a straight paracord, you alternate right, left, and you'll understand what I'm saying in just a minute. But because we want it to twist, we want it from one side to kind of push it around, okay? To be kind of like this little DNA helix kind of idea, if I remember my science class accurately. So, okay, so we're gonna get started. So it doesn't matter which way, if you're right-handed, you want to start on the right side, if you're left, you want to start on the left, that's fine. Because whatever side you choose is the side you're stuck with the whole time, okay? So you can do it either way. So what you're going to do is I'm going to do right-handed because I'm right-handed. But if you want to go left, I will show you quickly how how to start left in just a minute. Let me start on the right. Well, let me start on the right for a minute, and then I will show the left if you want to start on the left, and then I'm going to flip back to the right. So that way I can show the right, show it one more time. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take whatever side you want to start, and you're going to cross over your middle. Okay. So it looks kind of like a 4, right? Like a backwards 4 with your right cord. So it's going over the base cord. Then I'm going to take this left cord and I'm going to go down. I'm going to lift this cord up a little bit. And I'm going to tuck it through the inside of this 4. Okay. And then I'm going to pull that. I'm going to pull that so we have a little knot. Okay. But because we're going to work from the right side every time, I'm going to do that again. But now I'm using, now if you could see it, they flipped, this was on that side and this was on this side, but we're still working from this side. Okay. So I'm going to do my backwards 4. I'm going to take my cord on the left side. I'm going to go down so it's over this. And then I'm going to lift the base cord and tuck it under and through this 4. And I'm going to pull it. So then that knot works its way up next to the first one. Okay. I'm going to do a few more and then I'm going to flip to the left to show you how to do it. Then we'll flip back to the right. Okay. So then I'm going to do my backwards 4. Then I'm going to take my left cord and go, down. So it's parallel with my base cord, but over this cord here. Then I'm going to take my end, lift up my base, slide it so it's through the opening of the 4. And then I'm going to pull it tight. And you'll see it start to twist here in just a minute. See, this right here is kind of lifting up on mine. Okay. So I'm going to do just maybe one or two more. And then put this up here, 1 or 2 more. And then I will flip over to the left and then come back to this. If you are going good, then just keep on working down because I will catch up with you. I promise. And then just pull it tight. Yeah, this cord's kind of start to get a little bit kinky. So you just kind of see now I'm starting to twist. I'm going to do one more and then we'll flip over to the left. Or I guess I should ask, are there any folks that want to see it on the left? If we do not, then I can keep going with this and we'll just keep moving along. Any lefties out there today?
I think they're still working.
Okay, good deal. Well, let's just keep going. I will show you if you want to pause for just a minute and just watch. Don't copy what I'm doing because it will mess you up. But if you were to do this left, you would do it the same way. You make your 4, you bring your cord down, lift it up and go through that opening, and then you pull it up tight. So if we didn't want to twist, we would go left, right, left, right. However, we want that twist to go around our wreath. So we are just going to stay on one side the whole time. So that's what I mean by it's just the same, just opposite. Okay. So we'll just keep working. And I'm just going to work as long as time allows until I have, I'm out of green. Now, I will say it might get a little bit kind of a little challenging when it twists so much that you feel like you're wrenching. Then you can kind of let your cords kind of flip around so they kind of settle. And I'll show you in a minute because it's going to happen probably next few, at least on mine. And then I will show you how I kind of get it back straight. Sometimes I just kind of keep moving and then it slides around because the nice thing about paracord, it is a little bit slippery. So it slides really, really nice against itself. So it makes it really, really easy to work with. And I love doing the paracord knot. This is one of my favorite knots. Now, if there's any jewelry, anything jewelry related, it doesn't have to be a jewelry piece necessarily. Like this right here, this is jewelry related. We're using jewelry elements, but we're not really doing a jewelry piece. So if there's anything that you've seen out there that you want to learn how to do, if you can drop it, you can definitely drop that in the chat. And I am happy to see if I can develop a class around that technique or style. If you like rainbow loom, if you want to learn something with rainbow loom specifically, if you want to learn some, I don't know, how to make a bow on a hair barrette or something. I don't know. I'm just making things up. I am happy to see if we can develop some classes around what you guys are wanting. Or if you like what I'm coming up with, I will continue to do that too. But I will show you in just a little bit a sneak peek of an upcoming class. I don't know if we have it on the website yet, but I'll have to double check and see. But it's actually skipping December. It's not that I'm skipping December. I just don't have that project quite ready yet, but I have January's ready. So I can show you what that one looks like, and it's really, really pretty. It's rainbow loom, but it's a Valentine's type project. There's a little bit of a hint. It's not making me flip around, but you can see here. If you see here, it's kind of kinking up because I'm fighting against it. So this is where I am here, and I have it kinking up. I'm gonna twist this so this is straight, and see how I'm kind of a little catty twisted. I'm just gonna pull those out. So now I'm straight again. Pretty easy. I'm going to keep going here. Hope where you guys are, you are having as beautiful weather as we are here in Texas. My goodness, it is beautiful outside. Go. And then we just keep going. And now I'm going to slide. As the more you go, the harder it is to slide. I'm just going to slide that, but I'm not sliding up all the way. I'm leaving a little bit because I want to tie my bow. So I'm going to leave a little bit of room there. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going until I am out of green, and I'm going to go a little bit faster so I can get a little bit ahead. I might already be ahead, but if we have anybody starting, or if you're just joining, I don't know if anyone's just joining or not, but this is being recorded. And Felicia, if you wouldn't mind kind of giving a timeline, I believe it's tomorrow it'll be available, or will it be Thursday?
It should be available tomorrow, but we always tell you, give it anywhere from 24 to 48 hours for it to become available.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're
And that will
welcome.
help, guys. You can go back and if you just want to watch today and then go back and record where you can pause and go a little bit slower. That, I mean, I totally understand that. That's how I learned a lot of stuff too. I will pause it and rewind it and say, what was that again? Sometimes things take a few minutes to get, and then once you watch it a few times, you're like, aha, that is much easier than it looks when you first see it. That's how we learn too. As professional crafters, we learn the same way everybody else does. Sometimes it comes a little bit more natural to us, but sometimes we have to sit there and watch those videos a couple times too. Straighten this back out. So I'm a little crooked the other way, but that's okay. I'm just gonna, I was starting to kink up a little bit. Now you can see the red in between, depending on how tight your paracord knots are, or these are a half of a square knot actually. So depending, but I call my paracord knot because that is true enough. It's with the paracord, making knots, paracord knot. So, you can do them really tight or you can do them loose. I do mine tighter. But you can do them a little bit looser if you want to. You can see some of the red. If you don't want to see the red, that's okay too. You can add another little thing is you can add beads like pony beads as you're doing this. You can slide a pony bead on to your, I don't have any right here. I'd show you. You can slide a pony bead on to your base cord, and then just do your square knot around it. Okay. So if you want, you know what I'll do? I'll show you how to do it with a alphabet bead, just so you have an idea. Okay. So I'm just going to grab this bee here for Boston. And I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to singe my end here so it's easier to thread. I did it off screen because I don't want any kiddos to do that without an adult. Okay. So you're going to do any bead that you can slide on your paracord. Okay. And then you just keep going. And what it will do is it will butt right up to your bead. And then you keep moving. So you can add like, red beads if you want to, if you have red punny beads, and to be little berries on your wreath. Kind of a cool, cute little idea, but it's harder when you have the tape. So you do have to take the tape off. But I'm taping me back down so I can keep on going. We are good on time because I've got a little bit more. Now, if you want to, you can untape and go, how long is how big is my wreath? Oh, it's still pretty small. I'm going to keep going. That's also a good little time to check yourself. Where'd my tape go? I lost my tape. It's probably attached to me somewhere. Oh, here it is. Clear tape, hard to find when you set it down on your table. I'm going to keep on going.
And Anna, someone did respond saying that that it's rainy and chilly in Pennsylvania, that is calling for snow flurries tomorrow.
Oh, wow. That's us Texans. We just think that's so cool. We don't, I'm from here. So I've only, we get snow every couple of years. So when the snow I see is when we go somewhere or see it on TV, and it's fun. It's like when the snow hits here, we close everything down. Or when it might snow, we close everything down. But that's so fun. I will tell you, my mother is from North Dakota. So she is from a place where there is lots of snow. So she tells tales of lots of snow that we get to hear about and the things that they do. So that's very cool. I'm glad that you guys are getting some snow. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, God, the snow is fun, but it sure is nice to have the nice sunny weather outside. Kind of goes both ways. So which one do you want today? Yeah, we're in Texas, so we get this. We don't get, we have 2 seasons, hot and hotter pretty much. Sometimes we get some cool, but nothing too crazy. I think I'm just going to keep, like I know I've said it before, but I'm just going to go till I run out of cord. The cool thing about this knot is your sides stay even. If you're alternating, it seems like the same side gets the bigger knot. So you run out of cord faster on one side. This side, even though we're staying on we're knotting from one side, because we're going back and forth on our cords, they're staying even. So we will finish up our green on both sides about the same time, which I think is always an easy way to, or a good use of your cord. Because if you have to cut it, at least you're cutting the same size on both sides. You don't have one tiny one or one big one left over. Am I going off the screen? I'm doing all right. Do I need to move it up a little bit? All right, I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to move mine up a little bit because my knots are starting to go off the screen. There we go. I think I should be good until I'm out of green here. And once we're done with our paracord knot, we're going to shape our wreath with our bow at the top. So we're going to bring this, our base cord here up here to form our circle, and then tie our bow with our little excess piece here. Oops, I was about to go to the left side. So if you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm done, I have enough, I like my wreath size, that's fine. Just hold tight. We'll be with you in just a moment. If you want to go to you're out of cord, like I am, then you should be getting close to being done. And if you are not, if you're a little bit behind of where I am right now, that's okay. Because of time, I may ask you to pause and just kind of see how I finish it up. And then you can either finish it up, or if you need to watch the video, then in a day or two, you should be able to see that video. And we're going to get real tight on our little snowflakes here, or not snowflakes. I'm on snowflakes. My mind is on snowflakes. On our paracord, I'm going to twist this around here. And this is just too fun. I just think this little snow, again, I'm on snow. This little paracord wreath is just too stinking cute. I am getting close to being done here. I'm going to work until I cannot knot anymore. And I am pretty, what do you call it? Tenacious. So I will fight this thing until the very, very end of my cords. You think I can get at least one more? Let's try. Yay. I don't think I can get any more out of that. Okay, so I'm going to untape, and I'm just going to put it all on my little working mat here. Okay, so this is much bigger than my other one, but that's good. I'm okay with that. Okay, so this is where we need our adult. Now we can do this two ways. You can do this with glue, or we can do this with the lighter. And the adult, if you have your adult handy while I'm kind of talking, if you go, flag them down. So what we're going to do is we are going to trim our ends here. And it does this kind of fraying. You see that, all that fraying? Kind of not a pretty end. So adult only, adult. I'm going to show this on camera now. So you need your adult. You're going to just carefully singe. And it's just going to melt the ends. And then it just tucks it in. Okay. I'm going to do this on this side here. It's going to mix it on that. Not pretty at all. And this melts everything up. And there we go. Is it all tucked up in there? Okay. Give you a few minutes to get your, to do that. And then I've got a lot of cording, but I just like to have plenty. I said 48 inches. I just like to have plenty to do everything at the end. So plus, if you wanted to go longer, if you had a different, if you wanted to keep going, you could just do what we did here on the beginning, find the middle, and just keep moving, keep going. Just add on and keep going. I actually did that right here, and you can't even tell. I mean, if you look really close, you can see the place where I started and stopped. But when you're looking at it quickly, or not quickly, but if you're just looking at it holistically, it looks perfect. Okay. Okay, so we have our little, so to form our wreath, I'm just going to, shape it here. But really all I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a bow. Now you can do a couple of different ways. You can wrap this around here. Sorry, under my knot here. And get this guy out. So we can, kind of keep it a little bit even. So this is going straight up. But I'm going to do my loop on my bow. I usually have to do my bows upside down, so I might have to go back and do this upside down. I don't know why that is. I just like to do my bows upside down. I don't like to do it. That's just the way my bows turn out better. So let's go upside down because my bow did not turn out pretty there. Okay. Much better. Why I do upside down bows, who knows? But I found that out on accident one day that my bows look prettier upside down. Now you can, if you want to, you can cut, do a knot, cut it, and then tie a bow and glue it on. That's a possibility. But I like to just try to keep things as smooth as we can. Now, if you want to, if you don't like this knot right here, it's not absolutely necessary. You can undo it. It's just nice to have when you're starting it out. Oh, I just undid my whole bow, didn't I? And you can, let me tie my bow. And then we can add our name, and then you can go back in and tie a loop on there. You can add you have the hook. You can do a couple of different things. Okay. But I am going to, sorry, I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to put mine back in because I want to be able to hang mine on the tree, because I like my little ornament keepsake for my grandboys. He's 6, so he's not a baby. I say grandbabies, but he's not a baby. So, and I'm going to go upside down because my bows, like I said, are prettier upside down. Okay, shape it up a little bit. Now I'm going to add I'm just going to just move them around to get everything to where you want it to be. And then I'm going to add my letters. I'm going to put my 2024 on this side. I'm going to show you a little trick. My daughter was going to a big concert, was making friendship bracelets, and her friend kept putting letters on upside down. So she was like, how do you do this without putting my letters upside down? And I said, well, let me show you. So this is what I do, is I set them up the way I like, the way I want to see them, and then I just slide them through. As silly as that sounds, it is a surefire way to make sure your letters go on the way you want them. And get that one all the way in there. Or it doesn't want to go. There we go. Slide that up. And because mine's a little bit bigger, I can have it hanging down a little bit. Now I'm going to do Boston the same way I did Miles. And you can put your name. You can do, if you want to make this for your teacher, you can put your teacher's name. If you want to make it for your mom or dad, or your best friend, or your grandparent. I thought I got an N. It looks like I got a Z. Well, I need to fix that, don't I? Well, I will fix it later. For the purpose of our class, it's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to make my end a little easier to thread. I'm doing it the same way, just have them set up. And then slide this up. Oh, I did it. I did the opposite. It's a good thing I'm going to fix that letter later. But that's okay. I don't mind it. Okay. And then I'm going to do just like we did our overhand knot. Okay. I'm just going to go, around on the top of my fingers and through the hole to make my knot. And I want them to be pretty even. So I just kind of work it. Then I'm going to trim my ends. I'm going to keep this one long because I'm going to redo his name. I'm going to trim my ends. And then again, have your adult close. Singe the inch just so it makes it a little prettier. And like I said, I'm going to keep this one so I can fix the name and then I'll trim it. And that is how we do our Paracord Wreath Ornament. Isn't that adorable? I love it. I think it's so pretty. So I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek of the Valentine's project I talked about earlier. And what materials you will need. See if this is something that you would love to make. There's all kinds of things going on. But this is super cute chunky chain bracelet. Chunky chain, super easy to make. Then we're going to make a heart using rainbow loom rubber bands. And then we'll have a little bracelet to go with it. So you can, little rainbow loom bracelet to, if you like me, I like lots of bracelets on. So I make, just a couple of them. You can add more if you want to. But that is our January class. So work on December. I should have December up in the next couple of days. And we can decide what we want to do with that. And I hope to see you guys in our January class, and especially also our December. So everybody have a good day. Thanks for crafting with me today. Appreciate it. Bye.